Please read the disclaimer. XRP holders, Trump just did it again with another pause, and the crypto czar is quitting or moving to a new position. We'll talk about that as well, and some interesting new updates from Ripple regarding XRPL. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, moneymakers. Let's get into it. Freaky Friday. Right now, let me move the microphone a little bit away so you can hear my nice, sexy voice. XRP is sitting at $1.36. Basically, another flat day here. After yesterday, we had a sell-off because of the uncertainty, because of the rejection of the quote-unquote ceasefire plan. It came out later that night that President Trump said he's pausing again the period of energy plant destruction in Iran by 10 days until April 6th. For the second time within minutes, the bond market, right, getting too high. Again, Trump delays. Remember, a few days ago, it was getting too high, delay, right? And we saw this similar activity happening back in April of 2025, where the bond market was getting too high, and then President Trump decided to postpone some of the tariffs. Same thing's happening right now. He puts out a warning, and then the bond markets start going crazy, assets start dropping, and then he pulls back a little bit and says, okay, a few more days, right? So we're seeing this again. The fear, you might say, it's still for the crypto market, it's 13, 10, but the fear is still there, right? Or the uncertainty, actually, right? The roller coaster. Whoa. I'm getting my money's worth out of this video. No, but the roller coaster continues in the markets. Again, it's not just the crypto market. I'll show you something about the NASDAQ. Just, you know what? I'll pull it up now. The NASDAQ 100 is now trading below its all-time high for 100 days, the longest streak since 2023. At the same time, the index is trading less than 10% of the peak, the sixth time this pattern has occurred since 1985. In the previous 5 instances, the NASDAQ 100 was either flat or positive 80% of the time 1 month later. 2 months later, the average return was about 2.3 with 80% positive outcomes. And after 12 months, the index was higher 100% of the time with an average gains of 17%. History suggests technology stocks are set to recover soon. And remember, the people have correlated the movement of crypto with the movement of the NASDAQ or technology stocks. Crypto is technology, so it's not a toothpaste company. So people correlate many times the movement of Bitcoin, the movement of crypto, the movement of XRP with the Nasdaq. Although I showed you a graph just a couple of days ago of the disparity that we have seen between the two over the past 6 months, right? Where the crypto market has gone down significantly, whereas the S&P, the NASDAQ have come down, but not at a smaller scale than the crypto market. So again, this puts, like Goldman Sachs saying yesterday that the crypto market might be ready for a comeback. We'll see. Again, a lot of what I think, and this is my opinion, again, not financial advice, always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest, right? This video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only. I think that the Clarity Act is what's suppressing the price of the crypto market because it's in the numbers, it's in the graph. As soon as Coinbase pulled out, the crypto market started dropping, okay? And so, listen, I just read this morning that Coinbase is at the table, right? That the chair is saying that the people are at the table, right? He says crypto market structure legislation has bipartisan support, with industry alignment being the last remaining hurdle. He says he spoke last night with Coinbase. Everyone is still at the table. So they're still at the table. Even Coinbase rejected, said no, right? We talked about this. I gave my opinions yesterday on this subject. We'll see how the crypto market plays out and what happens with the Clarity Act. I still think that this is what's weighing down the crypto market, right? We had the fear of war. That's over because it's already here and it's not as bad. I know the oil situation is bad, inflation is bad, right? But we didn't get WW3, which was what many people were afraid of. We didn't get $200 oil per barrel, right? And so those things that kind of were the doomsdayers were thrown out there didn't happen. But we're not in a great situation. Okay. And history has told us that these times are, if you look back 4 years, 5 years down the line, usually these lows where there's extreme fear and nobody's interested and things like that are the best opportunities. Again, it doesn't mean that that's going to happen, but that's what history has told us. Maybe this time it's the same, maybe this time it's different. Well, we're going to find out soon. And again, like every single investment, you're speculating, you're taking a risk, right? Even the greatest companies in the world, let's say right now, Nvidia is the biggest company in the world. Maybe in 6 months it's down 20, 30% because some Chinese they come out with something, we don't know. So even that, you could say, oh, it's the biggest company, there's so much, they're talking about $1 trillion revenue in the next coming years, but it could still come down. There's still speculation around it. So you never know what's going to happen. Also, I just want to remind you that I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up to anything or to send me anything. Those are scammers. I will never DM you first. I will never send you a message asking you weird questions, how you trade or something like that. People send me a screenshot of that. That's not me. It's scammers and imposters from countries all around the world. I don't even know where they are. So just be very careful out there, okay? And also not just me, other YouTubers or crypto people, same. Because we're now people get caught more when things are pumping, but also when things are boring and people are kind of getting itchy. You click on a link, you do something you shouldn't have because you're impatient. So just be very careful out there, okay? Also, this could be, something. I forgot to mention this before. The U.S. is considering sending potentially 10,000 additional troops, ground troops, to the Middle East to give President Trump more military options, according to the Wall Street Journal. Details includes these troops would be added to the 5,000 Marines and the 1,000 of paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne Division. The force would likely include infantry and armored vehicles. It is unclear whether precisely forces will go to the Middle East, but they will likely be within striking distance of Iran and the Karag Island. And Trump continues to state he will open the Strait of Hormuz with or without the help of the allies. And right now we're at 84. Oil this morning is up to 95. Interesting, there was a little bit of a run up here over the past hour or so. Silver, gold still around 69, 4,400 for gold. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here today, Freaky Friday. We'll see how the markets react. So far, like night trading is in the green for the markets, for the stock market. We changed the clock, so I'm back to normal. I was also out of whack with the time. It was like 3 weeks where in the US the time was changed, right? There was daylight savings, and here we did it later, about 3 weeks later. So I was all out of whack, right? All my times were different. So now we're back to normal. The only good thing is that the NBA games are a little bit earlier, but that's it. But I don't stay up during the night anymore. So, but it will be very interesting to see what happens here. Again, we talked about XRP and the price action and how it's all the moving averages are on that strong sell, and that historically, from me covering XRP for the past at least 2 years extensively, anytime we get to this kind of zone, there's always a bounce back. So there could be opportunities here. And if you want to take advantage of it, our partner BTCC will give you the opportunity to do so. If you sign up using my link today, there's a 30% deposit bonus waiting for you. So you put in $100,000, that's a $30,000 bonus that you can start trading with. And you might want to short the market. You might want to long the market. Again, that's your prerogative, whatever you decide to do. You can also trade stocks there, right? It's mimicking stocks. So if you are interested, link is in the description down below. Please trade responsibly. I will get a commission if you use my link, okay? This is an affiliate link. They are a partner of the channel. And please trade responsibly. This is just another way that you can support the channel, okay? Times are rough right right now. Soon I'm gonna have to open an OF page. No, I'm just joking. It's all good. We'll get through this time, and things will be better on the other side. Don't worry, guys. I've seen this before. We've seen these times before, and we'll keep on rocking. We'll keep on developing. We'll keep on learning. We'll keep on doing, and everything's gonna be all right. I've dealt with more difficult times, and I've come out on the other side. I've been at lows and I've been at highs. And to tell you the truth, right, this is just obvious words of wisdom. I don't think I can give out words of wisdoms just yet. I don't have enough gray hairs, but maybe here. I don't know. You don't want to see that. It's all white here. I don't know what's going on. And suddenly, right? Uh, I lost my train of thought. Um, there's going to be times that you feel like you're hitting your lows, right? But I've been at times of lows and I've been at times of highs. And to tell you the truth, the difference between the two, like for my life, was the same. The only difference was that I was putting a lot more stress on myself when times were low, when my portfolio was lower and I started freaking out. But when my portfolio was higher, it wasn't that I was different. It wasn't that I was feeling a lot better. No, I'm just thinking to myself, okay, what are the next steps? How can I get higher? But when you're down, you start having bad thoughts, and you need to kick those thoughts away, because you can always dig yourself out if you have a plan, if you have rules, if you don't do willy-nilly stuff, and you don't go all in and things like that are very, very risky. You can get to the other side. So just remember that, and take from my experience. Some of you are older than me, some of you are younger than me, some of you have more experience than me, some of you have less experience than me. So I try to give you a little bit of mine, right? Hopefully it's helpful for some of you. I know for some people it won't be helpful, but that's okay. It is what it is. David Sachs announces his role as Trump's White House AI and crypto czar has officially ended. So did he quit? What's going on here? Departing one day after being named chair of the new Presidential Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. So apparently there's a cutoff that you can't be like a special a government official more than 130 days. So he only got 130 days as the crypto czar, and now he's going to another position. Would you say that his time as the crypto czar was successful, unsuccessful? If you just look at price action, not so successful. If you look at laws that have been passed, we did get the Genius Act that passed. No Clarity Act yet. Crypto Reserve Executive Order was signed into fruition, right? It was signed by the president. Do you think this was a failure, these 130 days as the crypto czar, or was it an okay tenure there for David Sachs? And again, he's moving to a new position, right? So we'll see if there's a new crypto czar, and what could potentially happen here. Going forward with the crypto market, is it going to be pushed aside by the White House? So there's more important things, or are they still going to have it on their mind? Remember, Trump's boys made a lot of dinero from the crypto market over the past year. So I don't think that they want the crypto market to fizzle out, because they have a lot invested there. And they're going to be, hey, Dad, Papa, right? We can't let the crypto market ooze out too much because we have so much business there, right? So that's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. New Ripple is rolling out AI-driven security upgrades for XRP Ledger. This includes AI-assisted testing and dedicated red team to catch vulnerabilities before they hit the production. So I don't know how many of you know, but I used to be a communications and systems engineer, software developer, and part of the things that I was doing back then was looking for vulnerabilities, catching things, security, right? And so this is always close to my heart. It gives me tingles because I haven't, it's what I used to do. And so I'm always a sucker for a new upgrade on security for the XRP ledger. And I always think that these things are, they might not affect the price action. They might not affect what's happening with XRP. But for the long term, if we want more customers, if we want more traffic on XRPL, that could potentially translate into more XRP being used, then we need to have XRPL being top notch. We need to have it as a blockchain that people are not afraid to use, and that upgrades are always a blessing, right? Yeah, we can say a blessing. So we talked about this already, the Nasdaq. It will be very interesting to see what happens here today. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Are we going to see a Freaky Friday and we're going to see stocks recover all the losses that they had yesterday, right? For example, like AMD was up 7% and down 7%. And the market is just like very, very wishy-washy right now. Options are getting destroyed. And it's a very interesting, time right now in the markets. Also, leverage is kind of, tricky right now. So be careful out there. Make sure you understand the risks and rewards. Again, if you're interested in leverage trading, you can sign up now with BTCC. Get my 30% deposit bonus there. You can go through either through my website where we have all the other partners. If you're interested, you can check them out too, or straight through the link and sign up, get that 30% deposit bonus. Maybe you don't start trading, but you get the deposit bonus right now. Maybe you're on another exchange and you want to move over to get this deposit bonus, and then you can use that for your trading. So again, link is in the description down below. It really helps out the channel when you guys use my link. I know a lot of people work with BTCC, so if you use my link and not someone else's link because I have a beautiful face, I really, really appreciate that. Okay, don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.